Well, welcome to Misty Glen. My name's Vicky. So, are you here for the virtual wine tasting experience? Oh, that's fantastic. Well, come on in. Excellent. Come on in and take a seat. This first wine that we're trying is our 2018 Semillon. Semillon is probably one of the most popular grapes in the Hunter Valley, and we make it in a particular style here. So the fruit is picked just a little bit underripe compared to how you might pick a Verdelho or a Chardonnay, for instance. So it's got a little bit more acidity to it and a little bit lower in sugar. So the resultant wine actually is a little bit lower in alcohol than some other white wines. And the acidity is there to give the wine longevity. So it is actually possible to get Hunter Valley Semillons that are 10, 15, even 20 years old. That's of course if you've got enough patience to be able to hide it away for that long. So this Semillon, although it's actually quite young in Semillon terms, is actually very nicely balanced in terms of its acidity. So you've got that wonderful fresh citrus flavours. So the wine goes beautifully with a big plate of prawns or oysters or a nice piece of white fish. But you don't get that real acidic tart kick at the start. Okay, have a taste and I'll go and get the next wine. So the second one we're trying on this afternoon is our 2018 Chardonnay. So this Chardonnay was aged for maybe 6 or 7 months in new French oak. So it has that little hint of butteriness without it being overpowering. You should still in the background still be able to taste those wonderful fruit flavours that you associate with Chardonnays, such as peaches and apricots. Sometimes people even pick up a little hint of rock melon or even honeydew melon. If you're going to try this wine with some food, I would be recommending something like some lovely chicken dishes or even pork and even something slightly spicy. So why don't you give this one a go? So this next wine we're trying is our 2019 Rosé. We actually make this Rosé from our Shiraz grapes. And what we do to make the rosé is actually just leave the skin in contact with the juice just for a very short period of time. The flesh of red grapes is actually white, so the colour for the red wines or for a rosé only comes from the skin of the grape. And the longer you leave the skin in contact with the juice, the darker the wine gets. This particular rosé we've made in a slightly off-dry style. So you get a little bit of hint of sweetness, but really mainly what you're going to be picking up is fruity sweetness. So those flavours of strawberry and raspberry come through beautifully in this wine. Now if you're going to try something to eat with this wine, you can even try something maybe a little bit spicy, and some Asian dishes would go absolutely wonderfully, or just sit out on the deck and enjoy a glass or two with your friends. Okay, why don't you try this 2019 Rosé? Okay, so now we're going to start trying some of our red wines. The first one we're going to try is our Chambourcin from 2018. Now Chambourcin's actually quite an unusual grape, and you've probably never even actually heard of it before. And we're just one of maybe a handful of vineyards in the Hunter that grow this grape. It grows really well in the Hunter Valley. It's a very robust grape, and from the colour you can also see that it actually looks like it's a full-bodied wine, but in fact it is actually just medium-bodied. This particular grape is actually naturally low in tannin, so you don't get that real dry mouthfeel that you get with other red wines. So it is very smooth on the palate, very easy to drink. Flavour-wise with the Chambourcin, you're going to pick up hints of mulberry and blackcurrant, and even little hints of pepper and spice as well come through in this wine. Now in the summer we tend to drink this slightly chilled, so it's a really great alternative to a white red wine during the summer. Coming up into these winter months, think about having it with some beautiful lamb dishes, lamb stews, lamb shanks, and of course we always put a big slug of the wine in the sauce as well. So how about you give this one a go? So the next red we're trying is our 2017 Shiraz. Now Shiraz is the most widely grown red grape in the Hunter Valley. Pretty much every vineyard in the Hunter grows some Shiraz or other. What we like to think though is that our Shiraz is a reflection of our own particular vineyard. There's so many different permutations around the valley, and it's what the French refer to as the terroir. So the terroir actually relates to the aspect of the particular vineyard, the soil, how much sunlight it gets, and all those different factors, including the actual people who make the wine and grow the grapes. Now, with Hunter Valley Shiraz, they tend to be more medium-bodied wines. So very different to those really big, robust reds that you get from Barossa and Coonawarra and places like that. And I think that actually makes the wine here much more approachable and very easy to sit back in an evening and enjoy a glass or two. So why not give this one a go? So the last wine we're going to try is our sparkling Chambourcin. This is a fun, easy to drink wine that you can drink at any time, sitting out on the deck, maybe with some dips or cheeses, or even, with a Sunday lunch or a wonderful barbecue that you might be able to have. Now, if you remember back to your Chambourcin that you tried earlier, we had those beautiful flavours of blackcurrant and mulberry, and these really are highlighted in our sparkling version. Take a sip, take 2 sips, sit back and enjoy. Eric and I hope you've enjoyed this virtual tasting experience at Misty Glen. If you'd like to purchase the tasting pack or more of your favourite wines, click on the link or go to mistyglen.com.au. We thank you very much again and hope to see you in the Hunter Valley at some time in the future.